know my prayers. It's a little late in the day, and I'm between costume changes for my listening party, so forgive me. But the first listening party was a blast, and I'm excited for the second one. So, I'm Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. This is Tuned in Tarot. It is Friday, and we are here to do the Friday love reading, so stay tuned for that. And the listening party I'm talking about is the event that I'm hosting for a private screening basically of my EP, which is going to be released a bit later in a few months. But there's a single that's going to be released around the end of June. And tonight, everybody is going to cast their final votes basically for which song should be the single on the next EP and for which album cover I should use for the single. I have already picked out a cover for the record, and I'll be showing that, and I'll also be telling the dates of the release. And sharing that. And then at the end, actually, today there was some time left. There were a few people who were there that like tarot. And so I did a few free tarot readings for people that came and just hung out with me. So that was fun too. And I will be doing that tonight as well. And I took a nap, so I should be conscious at that time. But let's take a look at the love reading for this week. We're going to look at divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of self. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others and in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change that energy within us. That is how we create a change in our circumstances. So hopefully the readings that I give you help you make those changes within you. And if you've been on a twin flame journey for a long time and you're like, nothing is changing, it's because you've kind of stepped into that void of doing the same thing every day, expecting a different result. And as soon as you start to do things a little differently, you're going to see some shifts happen in that connection with that person. Not always what you expect, not always what you desire, but it definitely change. And it all, I think, leads you to where you actually want to be and go. So let's get started. So where's divine masculine energy overall for this coming week, or right now through this coming week? We have the Six of Pentacles coming out and divine feminine, Queen of Pentacles. So this is a week of dealing with reality, like actual physical material manifestation. Pentacles week, Earth week, on the Earth. It's Aries instead of Pisces season, so definitely we're kind of, Aries is all about fire, but the Aries energy, I think, is definitely going to be something that's going to be less whimsical and ethereal and watery as the energy has been for Pisces season. This is going to be more fiery, of course, but also a time when I think a lot of the pieces are coming together in the physical, in reality. So divine masculine's main concern this week has to do, in terms of this connection with you, has to do with receiving, giving and receiving equally, justice in that way. The feminine energy really feels her value. She feels her worth. She feels that that her creations are worth nurturing and investing in. And she's seeing a return on those investments this week. That's definitely an overall energy. The divine masculine is going to see a return on investment by putting more time and energy actively into the connection in the material, rather than just constantly fantasizing about it, but actually doing something in the physical, making a real physical gesture. And here I'm thinking phone call with an actual conversation. Really, we're at a point where text messages are not really sufficient. If they're long explanation type of things, okay, maybe. But we're really at a point where the contact needs to be something that can be seen and heard in the physical, and not just something that's completely ethereal. I think that's important to both divine, feminine, and masculine. In general, if you have children, this may also be a week where your children are going to require a little bit more of an investment than normal, or less, like they're going outside and playing more and you're kind of having more time to yourself or something. There can be that going on as well. The underlying energy of this week for the divine masculine, we have the Seven of Cups, which is making a return. I feel like that was here last week. and the Four of Pentacles for the feminine. So the feminine is here. She's here. She's in the material. She is really focused on the material for this next week. Divine masculine, a little bit of decision making or confusion around what choice to make in terms of how to do something, but no confusion about what he wants. The feminine is at the center here. He's made this choice, and that's why I'm seeing some real physical interaction this week, which is very promising. So we love that. Divine feminine with that Four of Pentacles. There's faith in the security that you're building, like your sense of security. There's faith in that. And so some people in this dynamic are going to experience a masculine energy that knows they want to choose you and has refused to let go of you and is absolutely inspired to invest in you materially this week. And others, you're at an earlier stage of your journey, and as you kind of come into your own and sort of embrace your Queen of Pentacles energy, like your independence and your ability to nurture your creative endeavors or something like that, you may actually see a divine masculine energy that pulls away, because if they feel insecure about their financial status or just insecurities in general, somebody who has insecurity, they may seek security in the other options that are around them. Having more than one option may be something that would make an unhealed masculine energy at an early stage of the journey seek other options this week to try to make themselves feel better, especially when they see you looking so good. If you're concerned, oh no, I hope my person isn't going to do that, let me tell you that if you see or notice that happens with your person, thank them, because what they're doing is they're taking their insecurity and they're sharing it with someone else who has to work on that lesson with them. And they will work out that karma together. That will be something that they do together that you don't have to worry about. If it makes you really sad or you feel insecure when your person kind of chooses other things to focus on instead of you because of their insecurities, that's an opportunity for you to really address that wound in yourself, because as you heal that wound, this person will trigger you less, and that back and forth that you have in that area will stop happening. Like, I don't know. I don't really feel much jealousy anymore in my connection. Normally, what I feel in my connection is just sort of like, okay, that's what they're choosing to do. That's who they're choosing to spend their time with. I mean, okay, I know who I am. I know my value. I know, like, I'm secure in myself. And I know that they have told me multiple times that they want to be with me and that I'm this great person to them. And I know that that's true. So basically what they're showing me when they act like that is that they know exactly what I know, and they don't feel capable of honoring or respecting who I am because they don't feel they can hold a candle to me. That's got nothing really to do with me being not enough for somebody. If anything, it's the opposite. And I understand it takes a while to find other people that have experienced life lessons or have had like good healthy dynamics from their families already and just have a strong sense of security and secure attachment. It takes time for that. I recognize that, and I don't need this one person that I'm focused on to be the person who gets over their insecurities in order for me to be happy. I just need to keep like sitting on my throne, right, in the Queen of Pentacles energy, feeling stable myself, and the right ones will come through. And my person, when they heal, maybe they'll come through and maybe they won't, and it's really okay. And I used to, I've always taught that because that's the messages that come through. My ego hasn't always felt that way. My ego has always been like, no, I need a person, I need this person, because the ego really is just a giant freaking baby. But I'm actually at a point where I'm generally like, it's okay. Like, if it's not this person, it's okay. I will live. And in fact, I will have a great life. So either way, we're fine. All right. So let's do the masculine and feminine energy. What are they thinking about each other today? So we start with masculine energy. I'll just keep going that way. Divine masculine, we have a judgment card here. Divine feminine, we also have a major arcana energy here with temperance coming out and the emperor card. The emperor card I've been seeing quite a lot the last like 48 hours ish. So divine feminine or divine masculine thinks that, well, I still see him judging himself. I still see him dividing you and him on this in this way where he's like, and I'm saying him as I'm referring to the energy, but please understand it really is just energy reflected back to you by anybody in your life. It's actually not even it has nothing to do with gender. You can have a feminine identifying gendered person who will treat you with masculine energy. Like it doesn't matter what gender, what sexuality, has nothing to do with that. But I see that it's likely that the person reflecting your energy is still thinking of you as an angel and themselves as a devil. And there's still some judgment going on there. There's still that happening. I can just feel it. And that needs to be worked through. That needs to be something that they understand, that every person is both dark and light. Nobody is perfect, and they're a combination of all kinds of energies, and they flow in and out of those energies. And there's no higher or lower here. There's like parallel experiences, and they're kind of like, you know, you're either on the same grid going in the same direction, or you're jumped over a little bit to another grid going in another direction, and it's not higher or lower. It's literally like tangential to each other. And divine masculine still really needs to get that through his head. He's really got to be like forgiving himself, because divine feminine I don't even think is holding any type of grudges. Not with this temperance card over here. She really isn't, because that's exactly what we're seeing over here. This is temperance energy is an energy that quells fire, that dispels anger and impatience and aggression and sorrow, and it quells it. It pours in another calming element, and then it alchemizes back and forth to bring peace and stability where there wasn't any before. It's a healing energy. It's a protected energy. Divine feminine, when she thinks about the divine masculine right now, she does feel that he will forever be protected in her psyche. Like she understands who this person really is, who their divine energy really is, and she understands that you don't always see someone's divine energy, right? You see actually an interplay, a balance, just like I described. Sometimes you see the good and sometimes you see the bad, but overall what brings peace is just accepting yourself exactly as you are, accepting your person exactly as they are, and being at peace about them. And that's how the divine feminine feels. She's like, this person, just like me, is reflecting this divine energy. And I just choose to feel peaceful about this person. I choose to feel peaceful, and I choose to act in a healed way with the temperance energy too. That's how she thinks about divine masculine. She also thinks he's healed. She thinks she sees some healing. She thinks she perceives that there's been some alchemizing going on, some spiritual alchemy that's kind of bringing him into his full, I guess, being as that divine masculine energy that she knows he's capable of. What is he feeling about divine feminine? So we have that wounded energy. I told you that there's a little bit of wounded energy left here, but this is the 9 of Wands, so this is an energy that's passing away. He does feel exhausted. He feels like a little bit of a wounded warrior here. A wounded healer energy, definitely. I think he is tired of isolating and being alone and licking his wounds and being a victim. I do think he still feels a little victimized. But the Judgment card for me is showing me that he is starting to understand that he was not victimized by anybody but himself. It's not that you did anything to this person. Divine Feminine is feeling the World card. She's feeling the major energy to have the Emperor, the Temperance, and the World card, and Judgment. All four cards come out. This is like a intense week, I guess, for this energy. But what she feels like a cycle with this wounded masculine is complete. Like I said, there's no triggering like they used to be easily triggered. It doesn't happen anymore because the healing has happened, and there's a cycle of completion here that Divine Feminine is feeling. Now, in some cases, I do feel that she has healed and released a specific person and is done with that. And that cycle with that person has healed or ended, and she's embracing a new potential for someone else in some cases. In other cases, it really just is you have a new cycle with this person that's happening. Divine Masculine, what are you saying to the feminine? Well, yeah, okay. This is the Seven of Wands, and this is a feeling of I'm fighting. I'm going to fight for you. I want to make this work. I want to make it with you. I want to make things work out. That's what the masculine energy is saying. What is the Divine Feminine saying? Well, look, I've learned my lesson, and I no longer stick around places that are turbulent, that are cause, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, insecurity. I don't fuck with that. So I'm going to keep it pushing, keep it heading towards the calmer waters that, I feel, and that I have honestly found myself alone in, and I'm just going to keep going in that direction. I'm not going to stick around where it's going to be painful, or, I'm not going to linger in places that hurt. But ultimately, I do feel that we've learned a lot of lessons, and I would love for you to join me and to go to this more peaceful place. I would like to make it with you too, but I don't want to try to do that in these old past cycles that were so painful there with the Six of Swords. I want to move on from that pain and learn from it, and experience the happiness that rainbow promises, and the hope that I think is in this connection. What is Divine Masculine actually doing? We have the Star. So a little bit of wishing upon a star. He's definitely looking at that Divine Feminine energy. I told you there is an imbalance in his mind still, because he's seeing the feminine as this angel. He's seeing himself as this devil. So I do still think that he's putting Divine Feminine on a pedestal. And while that's fine, Divine Feminine can be on a pedestal. Divine Feminine deserves to be honored and respected that way. However, a human being is not divine. A human being is anthropos. A human being possesses Divine Feminine energy, and if someone has shown you Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine energy, it may be a moment for you to be in awe of their ability to channel that, but they themselves are still just human, and they're flawed, and continuing to see them as a wish or a fantasy is what keeps them in that place of uncertainty about how to make it real, because you can't make a perfect fantasy real without destroying it. So the Divine Masculine still has to shift that a little bit. But I do think that what he's really doing here is hoping that Divine Feminine is also wishing for this to happen. So that's a positive element here. It's not just that he's, keeping Divine Feminine in fantasy. It's just he runs a risk of that if he stays there with her and the star energy, and him not believing he's also a star, and that they're meant to connect as a constellation instead of one person's, looking through a telescope. The only reversal we're seeing here is for Divine Feminine, the Ace of Cups. It's in reverse, and this is what Divine Feminine is doing. She's not entering into any new love relationships this week at this moment. She's not entering into anything new until she sees the cup come to her filled up. She's no longer doing any situations where her cup is empty because she's filled someone else's cup and she's waiting for them to fill her cup and they never do. That's something she doesn't do anymore. She withholds her love until there is a reciprocal energy. Now, the good thing about that is Divine Masculine has decided this week to be in a reciprocal energy. So Divine Feminine can continue doing what she's doing and be able to make good on this new love. She's not entering into anything new this week that does not pour into her cup. She's not interested, you know? So if somebody like I have a number of people from my past, people that I dated or whatever, or maybe not even dated, but they weren't brave enough to ask me out, or they did, I don't know, but they will do the things that a partner would expect. Like, they will send me a picture to try to get me to send them a picture. I'm sorry, that you're not getting a picture of me. The price of admission is a conversation about how you want to be in a romantic relationship with me. Because my friends don't ask me for pictures of me. My friends don't be like, they're not like, oh, here's a cute picture of me, like, send me one in return, babe, because I want to see you, because I want a picture for my spank bank. No, that's not how it works. My friends see all the content I put on the internet. They can look at it or not if they don't want to. And the only reason my friends would ask me for a picture is probably if I just had a photo shoot and they wanted to see how I looked, or I had a new outfit and they wanted to see my new outfit to celebrate it with me, or if they were fucking needed an ID picture for their phone. And they were like, hey, what's a cute picture of you? I want to make sure that the picture I have of you is one that you think is cute, because I'm thinking about you and what you want and what you desire, because you're my friend and I consider you. Okay? Anybody who's like, oh, you're hot, take a fucking number, buddy. You're not special to me. I'm not saying you don't know. That's not the price of admission. The price of admission is a full fucking cup. You don't have a full fucking cup? Get the fuck out of here. I don't need you. I don't need it. I really don't. There's nothing about that interaction that I crave anymore. It doesn't validate me. It does nothing for me. So yeah, it's Divine Feminine. That's where you're at this week. You're like, if it is not equal, I am not interested, period. What can Divine Masculine do to create more harmony between what he's thinking, feeling, saying, and doing? We have the High Priestess. No doubt, yes. The Divine Masculine, in order to create more harmony, really does need to just trust himself and release self-doubt. That's what my prayers are for my novena for the next 9 days. Releasing self-doubt, so washing it away and allowing hope and optimism, which is what we see here with the star cards. So the head, the mind right now, the energy of the mind and the energy of the person and your connection that leans more into their head, into their logic, into their mind at times, that person is really going to benefit from continuing to develop trust in themselves. And this is you. You're going to benefit from more trusting yourself and having less self-doubt as well. How can Divine Feminine create more harmony between what she's thinking, feeling, saying, and doing? Interesting. Seven of Swords. This is avoiding trying to get away with having feelings, and by just kind of retreating into a intellectualizing of your feelings. And also, I think trying to figure out what masculine is doing behind the scenes. Trying to figure out, like, you ultimately, there is as much of a drive for you to try to validate or prove why he's doing what he's doing, than to just believe in your own, like, just to trust yourself. You know, like, I'm thinking about situations where my Divine Masculine, the person I associate with that energy, will post something and I'll be like, is this for me? This is in the past. This doesn't happen anymore. If you post something, I'm like, clearly for me. And if it's not, I mean, it doesn't even matter, because it's not talking to me, so it doesn't matter. But I used to, like, take a screenshot and send it and be like, oh my god, I was just talking about this and now, like, this person posted this, oh my god. Like, and I needed that, like, I needed to know, like, why is he doing it? Is he doing it for this? Is he doing it for that? But what really brings more harmony is when you stop trying to figure out what someone else's strategy is about. Because at the end of the day, all that was really about was my insecurity. Because, of course, it was for me. But I didn't believe it was because of the perceived lack that I was feeling. Once I got into the space of the Queen of Pentacles, I was like, the chances that that's not for me are so slim that it's ridiculous to even fucking contemplate it at this point. So when you feel something, releasing the need to intellectualize what your feeling is. Just trust your feeling. Trust your feeling. You don't need to talk to a bunch of people about it. You don't need to validate it. And working on understanding when a feeling comes from your intuition versus your feeling emotions that are coming from fear-based thinking is a skill that is helpful as well. Like, my fear-based thinking is always accompanied by an uncomfortable physical symptom, whereas my intuition may have an uncomfortable physical symptom, but it's not one that makes me feel bad. It's one that makes me feel kind of like, honestly, certainty, or like a knowing that I'm going to be uncomfortable having to follow whatever that sign or symbol is, or something like that. That's the best way I can describe it. If you need more help with discernment on that, that's something I would highly suggest booking a personal reading for. And the link in my bio, by the way, is where you register for the party. It's where you book private readings. It's where you send donations. So please take advantage of all of the things that are available there. There are free downloads there. There's tarot decks I'm calling in, all kinds of things over there. And tarot decks I use also. If you're just curious, like, what deck is that? You can check and see if I've put it up in my storefront, which I try to do, but I'm definitely behind because I have so many. I have like 60 or 70 decks, I think. So it's yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so the final position is, what is the happiness potential of this connection? And my answer to this is, it's up to you. You've got the Two of Pentacles, which is all about a choice. It's about making a change. It's about not doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You got to change how you behave. You got to make a choice to move in one direction. But once this choice is made, the material happiness here is guaranteed. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy. And all of the material happiness, abundance that you've ever desired, it's really here. It's really within the potential of this connection, which I'm good. That's exciting. Okay, I forgot to shuffle the oracles, so we're just gonna grab our little tell me everything cards so we can have masculine and feminine say one last thing to each other. So, divine masculine, what would you say to the feminine this week? What would you say to the feminine energy this week? And divine feminine, what would you say to the divine masculine this week? That's awfully nice of you. And then I'm going to get a self-care activity. So the one from, I think this is from the week ahead reading. Massage. That was the week ahead reading, I think, or maybe it was last week's reading. I don't know. But we're going to get what is, yeah, it was from the week ahead. Self-care activity. Okay, I like that. And then one final piece of advice for you. Also, if you want to work with me on a weekly basis, there is a way to discuss what that would be like and kind of get a sense of what kind of work we would do together. You can book an Ask Me Anything where you find the video reading. If you swipe to the right, there's an Ask Me Anything, which is a free option. Click there. Send me a little message about what you're interested in working on together or whatever, and then I will send you a link to schedule a one-on-one so we can chat about it before you make the financial investment, if you would like. And I do offer discounts and deals for people who pay for services in advance and stuff like that, or who have weekly packages, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly packages. So take advantage of that. Okay, divine masculine. Let's talk about it. Here is what you would say. This is a protection message of Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Number 63. And divine masculine would say, I wish I could run away from my past and deny my mistakes, but I know I can't. I have gained something valuable from the experience, and I need to let my grief and my anger move through me, and soon my emotions will transform, for I will come to see that I have learned and grown. The alchemy of transformation is a gift from spirit, so I don't need to ever disown what embarrassed, disappointed, or shamed me. I know that it will soon be a source of great wisdom and strength as I work the magic that allows miracles to be created out of sadness and beauty to arise from ugliness. I want you to know that you embody beauty and the alchemical transformation of the past. It's happening already. Hang in there. You are so loved, and so much beauty is waiting to come out of all of this. Yay! I love that message. It makes me happy. Okay, that was a beautiful message. 57 Squirrel Spirit. Believe in yourself. Listen, if I never have a partner, I'll be satisfied by the way that the Divine Masculine whispers sweet nothings into my ear forever, and I don't care. Divine Feminine, what would you say to the masculine? You would say, hey, you know what? You have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need. See, Divine Masculine just said he would realize that. An abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of spirit and all the hard work that you've done. And I'm showing up when you need reminding that the acorns you've gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So, relax into knowing that there is always enough. And do you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience with me? Through diligent preparation, we have gained wisdom and strength. How much potential we have. We just need to believe in ourselves, for Spirit believes in us and wants us to know how we have enough and are enough. Doesn't that truth make you feel safe and secure? It should, for we have everything we need right now. I want to marry that. Okay, that's so beautiful. All right, the final card coming up is Building Blocks. This is from The Wisdom of the Oracle 28 by Colette Baron Reed. It's an incredible oracle. If you're looking for one that I use it for myself a lot because it's just like somebody was reading for me when you read the responses. So the essential meanings of this card include strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. The oracle's message is you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. That's what the Believe in Yourself card just said. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by values and ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. The relationship message for you is when you see this card, know that you are attracting new relationships into your life and solidifying the ones you already have by building them on the foundations of honesty, humility, clear communication, and a genuine desire to know one another. You're moving toward laying the groundwork for a relationship with the firm footing that will ensure it can withstand any storm. Long-standing relationships are also repaired and strengthened. You and the other person are stronger, wiser, and more powerful together than apart. And if that message didn't delight you, then the activity for this week will. Because it's 6, which is the lover's number 6. And it's also the Build Strength card, which this card is also telling you to do. It's to remember that you have built this strength, that there's this solid foundation for a connection here, and that this divine masculine can move from wishing and hoping into asking. He has to move into the material. There's just no movement here. The irony of this situation is that this one person is so afraid to ask for something and have that thing be denied. And yet, if they asked for it, it would not be denied. It will not be denied. And they just have to realize that and then ask for it. I was afraid to ask for people to come to my listening parties because I thought they wouldn't come. And I already had people attend, and it was already wonderful and affirming and fun. So I have another party that's happening at 11 p.m. and I'm not even worried about that one because I already had people come to the other one, and I already experienced what I feared not happening. That already, I'm just like, that's so silly. Of course people appreciate and love your music. Of course they're gonna be there and support you. Why was I thinking that they wouldn't? It's just dumb. It's dumb. Even if there was only one person, there'd still be one person there supporting me, right? And there was more than that. And people texting me who missed it and immediately registered for the second one. So I I just really strongly encourage you, if you are sitting on the fence about something in your life because you're afraid that if you ask for it, you're not going to get what you asked for, I just encourage you to risk the disappointment, because you may be pleasantly surprised, number one. And if you ask for something and somebody can't give it to you, it's actually a reason to be thankful, because they're showing you that they aren't capable of giving you what you've asked for. And when someone shows you that, believe them. Believe them. And it doesn't mean they're incapable of that forever, although it might. And that's why you really shouldn't run the risk of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting forever. If you happen to be in a place where you are single when the other person who you've been waiting for is single, wunderbar. Wonderful. I don't know why I said that in German, but wonderful. If you get into a connection with somebody that's amazing, who gives you everything you were seeking in the connection, I'm not one of those readers that's going to tell you that the best connection you're going to have in life is with your twin. I'm not going to do that. First of all, there's not a single person who can say that for certain. So anybody who says that for certain is incepting you, and I think that's irresponsible. I think it's totally irresponsible to do that. There is no basis in reality to say that the person that you think is your twin flame is the only happy connection you will ever have. If you decide that and you make that true for yourself, it will be true. But that also means that if that person never aligns with you because of free will, then you're going to be unfulfilled for your entire life that you're here, because you decided that this person was the only thing that would make you happy. I do not believe that. I do think you will have a level of satisfaction when you get together with a person that's had a difficult go around that will be much higher initially than with somebody that you just met off the street and didn't have any trouble with, because you don't have the addictive element set up with that other person. You don't have the, every time you go there, sometimes you get something and sometimes you don't. And so once you actually get a fulfillment there, I'm sure that in and of itself feels like a lot different, because you work towards something. You've edged, right? You've edged with this person for so long that by the time you get there, like, mind blowing. But you know how long that's going to last? It's like, what? The first day? The first week if you're lucky? I don't even think. It's 24 hours, 48 hours. After that, this is just the person that you love. Just like the person that you love, who would have come in without any of the hullabaloo, who came in gracefully, who came in without doubting that they are good for you and that you're good for them, who came in, I'm sorry, that's a different kind of satisfaction. Maybe that is more satisfying in a way. How can you know? And why decide that? Why make that decision? In a world where you are creating your reality with your thoughts and interpreting what reality you want by your feelings about those thoughts, there's no sense in setting up a reality that you don't want to believe in. So, all of the readers out there that say that your twin flame is the only one for you, I call bullshit. I want the receipts, and I want the receipts to be ancient and verified by multiple cultures and not just by their personal spirit guides. Because my personal spirit guides and we have our own private conversations that aren't meant for everybody else. And incepting everybody else about something that I have no proof for is not something I do as a spiritual teacher. So that's my 2 cents on that. Okay, I don't know why I had to say that today. Maybe somebody needed to hear that, because I think a lot of people get hurt by twin flame rhetoric, because it's bullshit. There's no evidence of a lot of the things that people say. Is there a phenomenon? 100%. Is it what everybody says it is? No. 100% no. 100% no. If you want to know more about some of the research I've done, go check out the Twin Flames Explained series. I have a 30-part series on a playlist here on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to check out. I start with a little class about Isis and Osiris, which I actually will probably go back to eventually. I kind of stopped at some point because people were not really coming to the class, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this for myself and not like waste my energy. But it's actually become kind of popular again, so I probably will go back to that class in the coming weeks, actually. But you can see all 30 parts in all the books that I've read. I just kind of went into and told you some of the things that those people declared in their books, and you can kind of get a sense of just how wild it is, and how unreliable, and how much misinformation and disinformation there is, and how silly it is to allow something to dictate your choices when it's based on, honestly, Google and people's visions of whatever the fuck they're getting visions of. That's all I'm saying. All right. I will see everybody who's going to be there tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the listening party. The link's in my profile. Register. You can send that link to friends. They don't have to be registered to access the link. You can just send the link to them once you get your link. If they don't feel like registering, that's fine. Although everybody who does register, I will have their email, so I will be able to send them the form and the link to the EP to listen to again if you need to before you make up your mind on the final, like, choose the single form. So keep that in mind. If they do register, I'll be able to send that, but you can always pass it on to them if you want to as well. So I just want to make it as easy as possible for anyone to hear the EP who would like to. And having this little private group is kind of like when a label has like a little marketing group where they're like, hey, let us know the keywords that you think would be helpful for marketing this, how did this make you feel, and that kind of thing. That's sort of what this is like, I guess. So thanks so much, everybody. I will see you Sunday. I'm taking tomorrow off. I will not be doing a reading. I did a junk food reading on Wednesday. If you missed it, go check it out. It was good. The money reading was also a tell me everything, which was unusual. That was very fun. But I will be here Sunday for the week ahead reading. So I will see you then. Have a gorgeous weekend. Take care.